What up, guys? It's me, it's Mandy, and I'm here bringing you guys another Hail Mary video. So a couple days ago, I put out a post on my Facebook page of which division I should do, either the NFC South or the NFC East, and mostly everybody decided on the NFC South. Big shout out to a good friend of mine, Andrew Key, recommending that I do the NFC South. He actually thought that I would be biased because I am a huge Cowboys fan to do the NFC East. That video will come later, so today I am predicting the NFC South. Not gonna lie, this prediction was actually pretty difficult. There's a lot of good teams in this division, but let's go ahead and get started. The team who actually finishes in the basement this year for my prediction, and that is going to be the Carolina Panthers. So if you just look at statistics, it shows that Cam Newton hasn't really had a back-to-back winning season. He doesn't, I guess you can say, necessarily know how to bounce back from a winning season. So that's one reason I guess you can kind of say that I'm really predicting for them to be in the basement this season. I honestly believe that we have pretty much seen everything that we're going to see from Cam Newton. Now, I know he did have an MVP caliber season, and that was actually, I don't want to take that away from him, but other players in this league have also done really good things. Take, for example, Joe Flacco. He became a Super Bowl winning MVP, and nobody really calculates him as a very good quarterback. Now, I'm not saying that Cam Newton is not a good quarterback, but I'm just saying that I think we've seen everything that we're going to see from him. So last season, this team actually surprised me. They finished 11-5, which I did not think that they were actually that good last season. Like, they didn't have any big flashy plays. They weren't a team that was very highlighted as a very good winning team last season, and they surprisingly made it 11-5 and made a playoff push. This team definitely has some things going for them. Like, they have a very good front seven with like Thomas Davis, like Dontari Poe. Like, there's a lot of good players on this team. They also let go of some players last season too, which I'm not really 100% sure why. Like Jonathan Stewart, who was their franchise ball carrier, they just let him go, and I guess it's probably because Christian McCaffrey is kind of an up-and-coming player. I guess they think that they can substitute kicking out Jonathan Stewart for Christian McCaffrey and C.J. Anderson, who they brought in from the Broncos. They also brought in Torrey Smith, who's on his third team in 3 years, I believe, and DJ Moore. They drafted DJ Moore, and look out for this kid. He very well could be Rookie of the Year. I really like DJ Moore. But back on the run game, I really think the only true running threat that I'm actually really scared of is Cam Newton himself. But with all that said, very tough division this year. Somebody has to be in the basement this season. I'm picking the Carolina Panthers. So now on to the team who's going to finish in third place this season, and I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I honestly think that this team is probably going to be the most improved team in the NFC this season. I feel like they fixed a lot of the key essential things that they needed on this defense. This team had a very big problem of getting to the quarterback last season. And then they brought in players this offseason like Jason Pierre-Paul, Vinny Curry, and they also drafted Vita Vea, who is another really big standout guy who I was actually hoping that would have fallen later in the rounds for the Cowboys. But I mean, they have a pass rush this year. And I'm actually going to be saying the very cliche thing that most people say when it comes to NFL teams, but this team is completely depending on how well Jameis Winston throws the ball. It almost seems like every year that there's an excuse for Jameis Winston for not, making that next step, or there's always something wrong that happened to this team, and it's not Jameis's fault, it's this part of the team's fault. Just a few examples. Jameis has never had a run game. Their defense can't get to their quarterback. Their secondary blows fourth quarter leads. Well, I'm actually going to kind of argue two of those points right now. In Jameis Winston's rookie season, Doug Martin rushed for 1,400 yards. I believe he was second in the NFL in rushing. In last season, where they say that the secondary gave up fourth quarter leads, yeah, that is true. But 4 out of those 8 losses that they had last season, the Buccaneers didn't even score over 20 points. So that's a problem, especially when you have weapons like Mike Evans, Deshaun Jackson, and O.J. Howard. So I think this year the Bucs is finally going to have the team that gives really no excuses to Jameis Winston. If he can actually play ball, then this team is actually going to be fairly decent. No, I don't think they're going to be a playoff team this year, but I do think that they won't finish last in the division, which is a huge step going forward. So while I'm breaking down these final 2 teams now with the Falcons and the Saints, I'm actually going to throw this out there. Both of these teams, in my opinion, will make the playoffs, and I think that either one can win this division. So they're really going to be interchangeable with who finishes in first and second, but as a placeholder, I'm just going to go ahead and break it down as I see fit. So in second place, I have the Atlanta Falcons. This team has a very good roster. And last season, they finished 10-6, and that was with a very very difficult schedule. So this team has a perfect example of the rich get richer. They have Julio Jones, who is their by far the first place wide receiver in the division. And they drafted Calvin Ridley in the first round, who is by far probably the best wide receiver prospect in the draft this year. Their running game is pretty good with Devontae Freeman and that offensive line that they have. Vic Beasley is honestly a monster on this defense. Their defense is actually really good this season also. So I still remember a couple seasons ago, I used to think of Matty Ice as like a B-plus quarterback, kind of like the Matt Stafford, the Tony Romo, back before Tony Romo was actually getting injured all the time. But the past few seasons, I've actually really opened my eyes up to him. I actually now consider him elite. Not necessarily top 5, but he's definitely elite now. So now back into the first place, I have the Saints. I have the Saints in first place for one simple reason. They have the best quarterback and coach duo in this division. Drew Brees is by far, in my opinion, the best quarterback in this division. And Sean Payton is honestly right up there with coaching too. You can definitely tell that a team is doing something right when last season they drafted the Offensive Rookie of the Year and Defensive Rookie of the Year. So that's definitely saying something right. What I want to mention about the quarterback is Drew Brees guarantees you at least 4,700 yards a season. And that was regardless if he had a good team and a bad team. And this team that he has this year is good. I really like Alvin Kamara. He's going to be pretty heavy in the early season with what is his name? Saints depth chart. Why can't I remember his name? Mark Ingram. Jesus Christ. Why did I forget that name? So Alvin Kamara is going to be featured pretty heavy in the run game, with Mark Ingram being out, I think, the first 4 games for PED. And Michael Thomas is a stud. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be the first one, well, I'm probably not the first one to say it, but I'm definitely gonna say it right here in front of all of you guys. This is a team that probably would have been in the Super Bowl if it wasn't for this.
Ganna steps into it, pass is caught! Diggs! Sideline! Touchdown! Unbelievable!
Alright guys, so that was my predictions of the NFC South. Comment down below, let me know what you think. Was I right? Was I wrong? If I'm wrong, tell me why I'm wrong. If you have a prediction of your own, put it down here. We'll discuss it. We'll talk about it. Also, guys, please continue to pass the word. Get the subs out there. We're working our way up to 50 subs so I can start getting you guys those giveaways. So be sure to look out for that. I'll hope to be posting those soon. Alright guys, so for my next video, I'm going to be predicting an AFC division. I have the AFC West and the AFC North left. So comment down below which one you want to see. I'll throw your name out there if you get the mention. So please comment what you want to see. Also hit that sub once again. Alright guys, peace. Gotta catch 'em all.